4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hey, what's up, Minnesota Vikings fans? Welcome back. Coming off back-to-back wins for the first time this season. Great to break it down. You are at a new episode of House Calls. I am your host, the Skull Doc, and joining me as always, my co-host Dave. This show is brought to you by Minnesota Sports Talk. Good to have everybody here. Dave, it's been a while, man. How you doing?
Yeah, go figure. We didn't have a show on back-to-back McCarthy wins, so go figure.
Full disclosure to everybody here, I am dealing with a patient of mine who has a medical emergency in the hospital, so I may need to bounce in and out a little bit as I take care of that. So my co-host is going to have to maybe do a little bit of heavy lifting tonight. I just did surgery on this guy an hour and a half ago, and he's trying to leave the hospital against medical advice, and it's not a good situation. So the lesson here is listen to your doctor and don't leave against medical advice if they're advising you not to, especially after you have surgery. But Dave, good to see you again, man. It's been a while.
Yeah, I think you had a medical thing 2 weeks ago, and then last week I took my kid to Disney. So,
yes, the week after Thanksgiving, I was on call, and that's a terrible time to be on call because family gets together. You know, they say, "Grandma, what's going on with your toe? Why is it black?" And then they send her to the hospital on Black Friday, no pun intended. And yours truly gets to take care of that. So I was busy that week, but it's good to be back. So let's just jump right into it. We didn't get a chance to break down the Commanders win. And then, today we get to break down the Cowboys win. But from where McCarthy was, where we were truly at a point where, okay, I get it. He's 22 years old. You take him with a top 10 pick, but if there's no baseline of ability here, is it worth continuing, right? Like even I got to a point where I was like, what the hell do we do for next year?
I'd be knocked down from a ledge.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were all kind of there. Like it was historically bad, right? Historically bad. To the point where people like Daniel, you brought up a good point here. The point where people are like, hey, maybe Brosmers are Brock Purdy, right? Like, and that didn't turn out to be the case. But like fortune has struck us Vikings fans in the sense that the schedule has sent us two of the worst pass defenses in back-to-back games, which allowed JJ McCarthy to really get some confidence, in my opinion. His EPA has jumped from worst in the league to like top 5 throughout the last 2 games. The Commanders game was, more of a dominating type of performance where we didn't need to rely on McCarthy so much in the passing game. But the Cowboys game, in my opinion, that was a close game, and JJ McCarthy had to drive the success of the offense during that game. So I'm really impressed with what I've seen the last 2 weeks. I saw a lot of progress, and now it's about stacking games. Can we build on that? Can we have another good performance at Giants? Can we finish strong against the Lions, against the Packers? So what's your take on JJ McCarthy the last few weeks?
So there's flaws still there, right? He's overthrowing Justin, and then I even kind of throw some shade on him with that open drop by Justin. Do a fastball. They don't need to throw a fastball. Everything was a fastball still.
Yeah.
So take a little off of it, make it a catchable ball.
Dave, I'm gonna let you talk here, and I'm gonna go on mute, and because I have to call a nurse real quick.
It's fine. So my big thing with evaluating McCarthy this year is just fastballs. My biggest problem, and I just saw an interview with Matthew Stafford, and he was Mr. Fastball too, and he admitted that, and he said one of the biggest things he learned is to take a little off here and there and make it a catchable ball and not break hands. Talk about not breaking hands. I was listening to this on the NFL Network on the radio, and that is so right on. He learned to do that and wins the Super Bowl, right? And their offense, and their offense was humming. They're struggling a little bit lately, but the fact is you got to learn to throw that catchable ball. I think Justin Jefferson should catch that. He'd get paid to catch that, but you can make it easier for him. You're wide ass open. Take a little bit off of it. Again, there was two other passes that he sailed on Justin. Justin couldn't catch those balls, and that's two. If you told me we would have had two pretty impressive wins, and Justin Jefferson would have 4 catches for 33 yards in 2 games, I thought you're crazy, right? That he's spreading the ball around. Guys like you know Jalen Naylor stepping up. Yeah. There's we talk about how he's going to be on another team, but if we could keep him, if for some reason we could get him to stay, that would be a big deal for us, I think, because Jalen Naylor is growing. Jordan Addison, he's still that deep threat. That was a huge play. This is exactly the offense I thought we would have, although we didn't run all that much because we had to keep pace with the Cowboys. It was still effective, and we could take deep shots. And he took that deep shot with Addison. It was a great throw. You don't get much better than that, honestly. You could catch and run a little bit, but still, it's tough to make exact throws like that, right? But that was as good a throw as any. Great vision. Way to see him getting open. Know where your players are going to be. So I was really impressed with his ability to to know where his players were, to deliver the ball faster, to get rid of the ball faster. And shout out to the offensive line. Even school didn't have a bad day by any means. Yeah, that's why I put this as I put that as the title of this video, and then on the thumbnail I put not on my watch, because he's really. I mean, I think he'll get 1,000 yards, but 1,000 yards for Justin Jefferson can't happen, man. The announcers did say something. It's like younger quarterbacks, your best guy is going to be covered. It's tough for you to decide to still throw it anyways. Well, he was doing that earlier in the year, and he was throwing it to the other team. So this is probably an improvement. He would have had a pretty outstanding day. He had a touchdown called back. He dropped another one, uh, wide ass open, and McCarthy sailed it. He was open. So I think it's not it's not just Justin Jefferson he has a problem with sometimes. He has a problem with some of the other receivers too. But even TJ Hawkinson had that nice little seam route, and he threw a fastball. Just threw a fastball, but TJ Hawkinson caught it. He didn't have to throw a fastball. He could have put some air under it, just a little bit of air under it. Could have ran to the ball. But no, everything's a fastball still. What do you think of that? Did you hear me?
I'm back. I really just kind of picked up on Hawkinson. Everything's still a fastball.
So
There was a couple lob balls there, one to Naylor, right side.
yeah, in the left on the touchdown, right? He threw it to a spot where he thought he could get to.
Mhm.
That's great. But obviously he couldn't. He didn't have his feet underneath him. He's rolling out to the left on that, so that might have been just because of his body positioning. But
Yeah.
I was just comparing, like, there was that fastball to T.J. Hawkinson, that, and then he throws he's throwing fastballs to Justin Jefferson. Um, it's still there could be a little bit of more touch on it. I still think it's a problem. I talked about how Matthew Stafford got interviewed, and I was listening on the radio.
Mhm.
And he talked about having all he did was throw fastballs when he was younger, and he'd break hands. He used those words. I break hands,
Mhm.
and I learned not to break hands and give players a more catchable ball. And my completion percentage went up. It helped the completion percentage, he said. And so I think eventually he'll learn this. But and that was like one of the best throws he had was on a touchdown in Michigan, and it was a fastball. And the guy jumped up, extended his arms and caught it. If he'll be much better, and will be much better if he can make these wide open throws. Um, he's sailing it. It's still too much, but again, it was a big improvement each week. Um, I thought this was his best game, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was his best game. I don't think it's coincidence that he was only pressured on 22% of his dropbacks. He had a great pocket all night long. And I think on the crosser to Jefferson, the one that had a potential for a big gain there, I do think that he was kind of interfered with the throwing motion a little bit, which is why that one ended up a little high. That one was an unfortunate miss. The touchdown that was dropped was an unfortunate miss to Jefferson. But keep in mind, and I'm sorry if you touched on some of this stuff while I was on the phone, but keep in mind that Justin missed the entire training camp with McCarthy. So they couldn't get the timing down. And because of the way that Justin Jefferson is guarded by these NFL defenses with, double coverage and a bunch of cloud coverage his way, you have to be able to hit him in windows with timing concepts, unless he's just streaking on a man-to-man coverage wide open across the middle like we saw him doing. Like that one, of course, you can hit, but that's why I think we're seeing a lot of low output for Justin Jefferson right now with McCarthy. And then so he had a lot of time in training camp with Jalen Naylor and Jordan Addison. And those guys are also getting one-on-one coverage right now. So it's a much easier throw to these guys. So it sucks in terms of the output for Justin Jefferson. We want to see our superstar get fed and be happy. But on the bright side of things, like you just said, I do think that was JJ McCarthy's best game to date. And like I said at the beginning of the show, we're just trying to stack performances, right? My only goal for these last remaining 5 games at the time when we were playing the Commanders or however many it was I just want to see JJ McCarthy show me that he has a pulse, right? Just show me something positive. Show me that you deserve the job going into next year. And so far, I think he's doing that. I think he's doing a good job doing that.
So Delton here doesn't give a fuck. Catchable ball also means not being 5 feet over your head because you threw a fastball and sailed it because you don't know how to deliver the ball behind a linebacker in front of the safety. So that's what I'm talking about here. Drop balls are inexcusable, but he's sailing the ball. Our receivers have to be 2 feet taller in some cases. So that that's what's going to make him better. That's what's going to make him better. And I think mechanics they talked a couple of things like you brought this up honestly is younger quarterback. They brought this up in the game. Younger quarterback, number 1 receiver. It's tough to pull the trigger on someone who's bracketed or has you. And honestly, I said this while you were off that he did do that a couple of times. And he threw picks when he did it to Justin. Throwing it down the field. So I take this. I'll take this. He just got to make those wide open throws that he did there. And a throw like he did, honestly, that might have been ill advised. That touchdown to Jalen Naylor, but if I could say that he recognized that guy's back was to him and wasn't turning around, and he threw it to a spot, and that was good. I would take that. Some cornerbacks or safeties are going to be better at that and have a eye on the backfield or not get burnt because Naylor's faster than them. So I'll take this game. I'll take the missed throws that he had to Justin Jefferson. You can't make every throw. The best of them miss wide open receivers too. Best of them miss people too. So
that's a great point. Yeah, like he's not going to be perfect, but you just want to see continued strides. And I want to see that it looks like the game is slowing down for him. And I think that it did. I can't explain why. I just think he navigated the pocket better against the Cowboys. And I think that he was quick with his decisions. He didn't hitch as much when he saw it. He let it go. And the accuracy thing, to your point, that it's going to have, he's got some work to do on his mechanics in the offseason.
Yeah, you see his back foot come off the ground. Even on a good throw is tippy toe at the best. Is on
when he's throwing left, particularly, I thought they did a good job showing that on the broadcast. When he was throwing to the right, he did a better job of keeping that back foot down. But I really hope he gets that quarterback coach that worked with Josh Allen. Hess, I think his last name is. There's a lot of similarities in how Josh Allen threw the football when he entered the league and how JJ McCarthy throws the football. And to be honest with you, I think JJ McCarthy's accuracy is a lot better than what Josh Allen was when he came into the league. And Josh Allen has good accuracy now. I wouldn't call it perfect, but he's so much better than when he came into the league. So, I do think that McCarthy is a good enough athlete to where once he gets those mechanics down, it could look much better.
What's up, Mafia? Oh, hey, new logo. But you see Dave Portnoy do a rant when they were up like 21-0.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I saw
gosh.
that.
Who would have thought? I guess anything's possible, Josh Allen. Well, you just got to give the ball to Cook, man. Run the ball with this guy. 3 touchdowns. But I think the offensive line, even though we're playing without Darisaw, and I'm almost like this. I'm almost like if they sit him. People talk. I don't know if anybody, and I haven't been watching. If anybody's doing videos about we need to tank so we have a better ranking or a better draft pick or not. But the fact I worry about next year, we're out of the playoffs, play younger players, play backups, give them more time. If often injured Darisaw is, needs more time to heal and get ready for the season next year, do it. If Grenard, man, I don't. I know what a shoulder injury is like, man. You're useless when you hit it wrong. And that's what he did. He stretched out, and he became useless. And he was able to play with him most of the game and look great, right? And I'm like,
well, he got surgery, so he's done.
Oh shit! There I am, not looking at working and not looking at.
You're good.
I figured that. I'm glad that happened. I'm glad he got the surgery and he's out, which leads us to Dallas Turner had a great game against the Commanders, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't see him too much in this last game.
I saw him in coverage quite a bit. He made a few splashy plays, but I saw him carrying the tight end up the field and doing some cloud type zone coverages. So I don't know how many pass rush ops he got this game.
But
that'll be good for him though. I feel like when he's played in the Jonathan Grenard role, he's looked good. And when he's tried to play more in the AVG role, he did not look as splashy, as good.
Right. But one guy to shout out was where is he? Jalen Redmond, man, just a stud.
Yeah,
he lucked out with that guy.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get paid by somebody. Yeah. Someone's gonna have
his
some
last.
Money.
What's his? This is his last year.
I think he's an unrestricted free agent. If I remember correctly, he's gonna make some money.
I'm gonna look now.
I hope Darisaw is okay to push through at least a couple of these games to end of the season because, like, the most important thing to me this offseason is JJ McCarthy needs to be healthy this offseason. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, he cannot suffer an injury that's going to keep him out for a majority of the offseason throughout the end of the last few games here because he needs to be able to be healthy and to work on these mechanics.
They list him on Spot Track as ERFA.
ERFA?
Yeah.
ERFA. Something restricted free agent.
Yeah, so I think isn't that where they can offer him a contract and we can match it?
I think so. Yeah. There might be some draft.
That'd be his third year next year.
Yeah, so Daniel thinks that, I think he agrees with you. Didn't you say that you would sit Darisaw for the year? I personally would. I think I would want him protecting, especially at the Lions and Packer games.
Which is true. You want protecting your franchise quarterback.
Like listen, that knee it is what it is. It's going to swell up on him until he stops playing and lets it truly rest for the offseason. I don't think he's doing any structural damage to it, guys. I think it's just annoyingly swelling up on him, and he's just got this waxing and waning inflammation from the procedure still because he never completely healed it, to be honest with you. He's like probably 70 to 85% healed, but then he keeps playing on it and aggravating it. And so it's one of those things where he just needs to legit not play for like a solid 6 to 8 weeks, and that thing's going to calm down. But aside, personally, in my opinion, I don't think that he's placing himself at a greater risk of injuring himself. It's just a pain and swelling tolerance thing. So push through it. play a little bit, protect JJ, and heal up this offseason for
Yeah,
De
I mean
La
that's the trade-off, right? So
Salle.
our luck though.
Daniel points out Deerslaw has a lot of bad luck with injuries. They had a graphic on the Cowboys game that said he missed like 20 games already in his career.
Yeah, it's a little more than 20. Like
Kind of a problem.
22, 24 or something.
26 starts, says Skull Mafia. Kind of a problem, man. He's had some concussion issues. He had the ACL injury.
Well, his groin is first year. I think
Yeah,
it was his groin.
he had core muscle surgery for his groin the first year. I don't remember how much he missed, but probably the first 4 to 6 weeks or something.
Yeah, I
Rookie
think he
season.
was 6.
So that's not ideal. And I'm not a knee specialist, so I'm not going to pretend to know everything about ACL reconstruction and giant offensive linemen like him. But it was disappointing the way that it was continually getting inflamed and bothering him. It makes me wonder if maybe we rushed him back a little too quickly, and he should have just started on the PUP. And if we let that happen, does he still fight it like he's been fighting it? Because honestly, like I don't think his play has been as up to par as it usually is.
And he's had a false start in every game.
Yeah, and I wonder if part of that is because the knee literally hurts him to get in his stance, and he's like itching to jump out of his stance.
I remember one being like the clock was at 0. It was either going to be false start or you're going to have a delay a game.
Mm-hmm.
But so I don't blame him on that one. But yeah,
True.
could be a thing.
I want to touch on, because it's been so much McCarthy talk, but the defense
He got paid already. I mean, that's a good. We get the reason why we got such a discount was because of the injuries, which was my hope was that he'd now be super healthy and we would have a discount. But this was a down year.
It was. I want to touch on the defense this year, man. I thought the defense played pretty damn good based on the shit sandwich that they were served by the offense not helping them out for much of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought that they continue to bring it. And what do you think is going to happen with the Brian Flores situation? Because he's a free agent. Do you think the Vikings, I think he explores a head coach market.
Right.
And I think he re-signs with the Vikings as the defensive coordinator.
So yeah, I'm still thinking like it wasn't, you didn't make the playoffs, right? You gave up a lot of points, and it wasn't because it's necessarily his fault. But he has to overcome so much and be perfect to get a head coaching job. And the way that everybody wants offensive minded coaches, or then he's limited to, hey, do we want to draft a rookie quarterback and have Flores manage him? That's another issue he's probably going to have. People are going to remember how he handled Tua, which he might have been right, but he was the guy who wanted Deshaun Watson. So that was bad. That would have been a bad choice too. So if he could find paired up with a great offensive coordinator, right, he would be a good head coach, and I think people will recognize that. Is he still blackballed? Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
But I think if we would pay him more than any defensive coordinator in the league, probably, to keep him as our defensive coordinator. So either he's a head coach or he's our defensive coordinator, is my opinion.
Yeah. Some people have thrown out the Bengals as a good fit for him because they already have Joe Burrow. They already have the offensive weapons there.
True.
Just throw together.
But is Joe Burrow wanting to leave though? Are they talking about that? I heard.
Who knows, dude?
Is that a bunch of shit?
Who knows? Like he's truly in his feelings right now because they're not winning, and he's a competitor and he wants to win. Justin Jefferson got like that too. Like he just wants to win. So I'll say this though. I have no interest in the Vikings going out there and giving up any capital for like C+ quarterback options like Mac Jones. I would much rather just play JJ McCarthy all year next year. And if he's dog shit, well, then we're going to get a really good pick in a year with a ton of quarterback prospects. Next year quarterback pool is looking really deep right now. And so that's the way that I would go. With that said, if Joe Burrow is like a real potential candidate to go out and get him, there's not too much in terms of capital that I wouldn't give up to make that work. I send JJ McCarthy and 2 firsts and 2 seconds to the Bengals, and I bring Joe Burrow here and I say, all right, Joe, try to win us a Super Bowl. Do you agree with me?
How many picks?
I said send McCarthy.
Yeah.
I said 2 firsts, 2 seconds. That's what I said. But you could send McCarthy. You could send Dallas Turner. You could send 2 firsts. Does that get it done? I don't know. I'm just saying, put together a holy shit package. And if they're dumb enough to say yes for Joe Burrow, then yeah, I'll take Joe Burrow. Do you agree with me? Or is there like a hard limit that you wouldn't do / hey, just stay the course, stay with the kid? Like, I'm a pro JJ McCarthy guy. But anytime you have a chance to trade for like a top 3 quarterback in the NFL, like Joe Burrow, you just do it. I don't care what it costs.
I just looked it up. He's 29 now. I didn't think he was that old, but he's 29 now. Does have injury history.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is a steep price. Now this is my realistic hat. I still think they'll make. I think especially after these last 2 weeks, they still like JJ McCarthy. He showed a lot of improvement. His attitude hasn't changed. He's still Mr. Confident when he's out there. I thought we were going to lose the team. Like we're just going to give up. But here we are, not any chance of making the playoffs, and we go out and win.
Mm-hmm.
On freaking Sunday Night Football. It's and pretty impressive wins. He won on Sunday Night Football. He beat the Lions. What was that, a primetime game? I think.
When we beat the Lions.
Yeah.
JJ McCarthy.
Yeah.
I think that was a noon game.
Was that a noon game? Oh yeah, it was game of the week. I remember being pissed.
Yeah.
I couldn't watch it on
yeah, Tom Brady called
YouTube.
that game. 325.
Yeah, it was the main game. But yeah, I want to be realistic here. I don't think we're getting Joe Burrow, but I think I see the reasoning from it. You want a sure thing as a quarterback, still young in his prime, not young, but still in his prime. Relationship with Justin Jefferson. Yeah, just so much talent we have, and we could, with the running game that we actually have a decent running game. We just stick to it.
Mm-hmm.
I have no doubt we have a good running game, and just he can sling it all over the field. And we need a guy like that, fourth quarter. And if we're gonna lose our defensive coordinator Flores, yeah, we need to outscore people then. Yeah, it would. I was like, talking about trading him for Herbert last year.
Yeah. So our comment section agrees with you that, essentially 4 first-round picks for Burrow is too much. Too much injury history, and they shouldn't go that route. So I guess I agree with you guys, but if the news thing came across our phones in the offseason saying the Vikings traded for Joe Burrow, I would be excited. And I wouldn't care what the compensation would say. That would be me personally.
I'm like, okay, we got a new player. I'm gonna root for him now. That's the way I am with everybody.
I just love Joe Burrow. I think he's amazing. I just think that he's gotten hit too much. Like, that offensive line has been garbage his entire time in Cincinnati. And yes, they have amazing weapons. But remember the old meme. They had a chance to, I think, get Penei Sewell or Jamar Chase. They chose Jamar Chase, I believe, right? And there was a meme like, okay, well, what's more important, the tackle or the receiver? Well, you can't throw to the receiver if your quarterback's getting popped in the face. And that's kind of been the story with Joe Burrow. Like, they have not protected him despite having amazing weapons. Dan says, I like Burrow, but I think the Bengals broke him. Now, I still think he's damn good, Dan. Still think he's damn good. I don't think he's broken. I think he's broken emotionally right now because he missed the playoffs for a lot, like, what is it, 3 consecutive seasons now? They went to a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
so
second year.
Yeah, they have not had success in a while, and I think he's just tired of it. And you know what? Also, things that we need to talk about is that ownership sucks. They're cheap as hell. Their practice facilities suck.
It's like the worst in the league.
It's literally like the worst place.
Hill.
Yeah.
They walk down a hill and across the sidewalk and across the street. They got to use traffic lights. They got to obey traffic lights to get to their practice field.
It's ridiculous. Like, I don't think it's going to happen, guys, but it's just worth talking about, in my opinion, because it's an interesting scenario that stemmed from, my view on JJ McCarthy going for next year. And somebody earlier in the comments said that JJ McCarthy right here, Dan, I want JJ McCarthy to see his third year. Next year tells you more. Yeah, absolutely. Next year, JJ McCarthy's going to tell us so much.
He's got me bought in again.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to get a full training camp potentially with Justin Jefferson. We're going to get time to see the new mechanics. I do think it's JJ McCarthy's year, guys. Like, I really do. He's a top 10 pick. He's 22 years old, going to be 23 next year. Like, I think that you can't move on from him. Like, and some people are saying, okay, we'll bring in a veteran to compete with him. Okay, but it's going to be some Carson Wentz type name that's not going to win the job. It's not going to be a real competition. And I do think JJ McCarthy's going to get all the first team reps. So it's not going to be real. So that's my opinion. That just is what it is. And I think it's the way it should be. They put the capital in JJ McCarthy. Now it's time to see what you got, right? And you're not going to know what you have after how many games this year? 12 games that he's going to end up playing?
Yeah, like, God, how many has he played? Would it be 12?
That was his 8th game in Dallas, I think. So we got
there was
9,
11.
10, 11 games this year is what he's going to get.
Yeah, and we get to see him against knock a couple guys, maybe knock a team out of the playoffs. That'd be nice. We're gonna finish 4th, so that sucks. Freaking Bears are division leaders right now. It sucks.
The world's upside down, man. Well, the key words is right now, so we'll see how it finishes. Bears got a tough 3 games.
Honestly, I don't want the Packers to win the division. I don't want them to win the division. But I also don't want the Bears to, take the North and never give it back either. I still want to give them shit about that.
You know what I want is I want the Week 18 games to matter. I want that Lions-Bears game to matter, right?
Yeah, I'm sick of losing the Bears at the end of the season. You know what I'm saying? Because of not playing our starters. I flew to the last game of the season. It was Christmas, a week after Christmas or whatever. Mm-hmm. And watched us play the Bears, and who's Paul Krause got honored on the field, and I got to interview him and ask him about this. He got out there and he goes, one more thing, I think we should be playing our starters. And we had backup running back out there, backup quarterback. We almost came back and won the game. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it sucks traveling all the way there not to see starters. But yeah, I want to see some interesting games. It's good. I like seeing younger players play too. I don't like, hey, let's bench everybody at halftime. I'm talking about play more players, play more people, but still try to win the game. And I know people are gonna have a problem with, hey, why'd we win that game? We just dropped 5 spots in the 5 spots. But I think it's really important in the development of our quarterback to win these last 3 games. And even have a winning record. That'd be pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
I think that's more important than getting to the top 10 of draft picks.
No, I'm not concerned about the draft pick situation. It's more important right now that we see what we have in JJ McCarthy, that he continues to stack good performances to finish out the year strong. Draft pick is what it is. It's going to be between 12 and 16 or something like that, in my opinion. So it is what it is. They'll probably take, a corner or safety or running back or something like that if that Notre Dame kid ends up there. So,
I love Love.
Dude, that'd be great. That'd be so fun.
He's ridiculous. And they got screwed. They were
ranked
ahead of Alabama. And they were, I get the Miami thing, but they were ranked ahead of Alabama. And in the rankings going into that, and they decided to let Alabama beat them with 3 losses. So I know it was the SEC title game they lost, but they weren't impressive in that game. So yeah, they shouldn't have made it.
I know that people say all the time, number 1, you shouldn't take running back in the first round. And number 2, if you do, they need to be a superstar type caliber, and you better be like the last piece to your team. So here's why I think it would actually make sense for the Vikings to go running back. like mid first round is because you have the offensive line to have a good running game.
Mm-hmm.
And if you find that explosive piece, a la Jameer Gibbs, Devon Achane type player, that adds so much to your offense and takes away so much weight off your quarterback. And it opens things up so much for your quarterback. So I personally think that, even though this might not be a Super Bowl deemed roster at that time, I think the pick would be warranted as long as you deem the player to be like superstar caliber type of player. And I think that Notre Dame kid has that in him.
Yeah, and he's sat second half, man. They played blowouts.
Mm-hmm.
They were blowing people out, and he's didn't play the second half in a lot of games, so he's ridiculous. I approve. And that list last year, it was a big running back class, right?
Yep.
And honestly, they started out slowly. Like Genty's not doing like he's like
Genty,
that's on the Raiders, right?
That's a really good point. Is should the Raiders have taken Genty that high because they're nowhere near close. They don't have an offensive line that can block for him either. I don't know if that was the right pick for them. I'm glad they did it because it kept him out of Chicago.
Right.
Switching gears here. So the Vikings are playing the Giants in the Meadowlands. The Giants seem like a team to me that's pretty much checked out. Didn't they just lose to the Commanders?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So they're pretty much checked out, but it's going to be probably a cold weather game, right? It's in New York. It's in the elements. Let me look at that forecast real quick. But I'm interested to see JJ McCarthy handle the elements in the cold. How does that look? Because I don't think we've seen that yet.
So I had made comments, I've talked about his 9.25 chance, and I seen throws when he was throws in college where the ball fluttered, and I was like, it's cold out when he was in that game, and I'm like, is that a reason? Is that possible? It's the bigger your hands are, the better you're gonna be able to hold on to the ball, especially in cold weather. So I'm really interested in seeing how he does in cold weather.
It looks like the weather forecast in New York is about 40 to 50 degrees, so mid 40s.
No, it's not. It's
with like a 10 mile per hour wind, so not much wind.
Yeah,
so
that'd be fine.
Pretty mild.
40 to 50 degrees. That's nothing to these guys. They'll practice in a minute. They practice outside, right? So
yeah. So we'll see. It seems pretty mild, and it shouldn't affect too much. So really, we're going to get out the rest of the season without a cold weather game because we play at home against Detroit and at home against the Packers to finish the season.
We were so optimistic at the beginning of the season. We were talking about, oh, look how this schedule's lining up for us. I'm like, nope.
If we get the same level of quarterback play that JJ McCarthy provided the last 2 weeks. Now, again, I know that these pass defenses were terrible. I understand that. So his stats were elevated because it was a weaker defense. But if we get anything close to this quarterback play at home against the Bears, we won that game, right? What are a couple other games that jump out to you?
Philly. Could be Philly.
Yeah, but that was a Carson Wentz game.
That wasn't him, though, but
McCarthy, what other games did he lay in a complete, like Atlanta, like home against Atlanta? That was in week 2.
we thought about how we were better than them, but they destroyed us.
They've been garbage, like mostly since that game. They beat us really well, and then they beat the Bills impressively at home. And other than that, Atlanta
out of the playoffs probably.
Yeah, good point.
Comeback win, down 14 in the fourth quarter. Kirk Cousins comeback kid again.
Now, the one thing that the Giants have going for them is they have a really good defensive line, or at least their edge rushers. Yeah, they still got Dexter Lawrence, so that defensive line is still very good. So that's another reason I'd like Darisaw to play.
Yeah, Atlanta's defense isn't bad.
I think their pass defense is quite poor, but
I think they rushed the quarterback well. I remember earlier in the season I picked him up to start him for a couple of games, and they rushed the passer pretty well. But I'm not an expert on them, so I don't know. But yeah, Bijan, and Kirk Cousins throwing for 350, and Bijan doing his thing. And Bijan called him the GOAT.
Jackson
Penix wasn't listening.
Jackson Dart. I saw a tweet today. It's like Jackson Dart has been evaluated in the blue medical tent for like half of his games this year. Like 5 of 10 games he's been in the medical tent for a concussion. Like more times than Tua, like in Tua's career
Really?
or something like that. It's concerning. That guy's
really
really
like
got
him
to
too.
change. Oh, I like him too, but he's got to change his play style, man. He's getting beat up.
Well, you saw McCarthy diving for first downs too, and they made a commentary about it. Are you really getting hurt worse by sliding or diving?
Yeah, because when you're
You always see
sliding,
where those guys slide and still get rocked, right?
yeah, you're defenseless.
But
Now,
this way you can control where your head is.
JJ dove head first and he was doing this thing, like he got contacted in the head, but I don't think you're protected if you're diving head first.
His arm, the guy's hand hit him in the head. It wasn't a helmet.
I don't think the rule is that you get protection though.
Well,
if you're
no,
diving.
but spearing, like a
Oh.
helmet to helmet spearing, like if you lower your head, that would have been a call. But he wasn't a
Yeah.
helmet; it was a hand.
Oh, we got to bring this up on the show. Did you have an issue with McCarthy doing the gritty into the end zone?
No,
I didn't either. Anybody in the comments feel differently about that?
I would have wished he would have waited till he got in the end zone.
So that's what KOC and Wes Phillips said. That's like they were like, we would prefer you celebrate once you get in there. You know, don't drop the ball. Like, why put yourself at a risk? But he's having fun, dude. Like, I'm not going to fault the guy for having fun.
Yeah, that was my first thing. Was like, I wish he would have waited until he got in the end zone. But
yeah, I personally didn't care at all.
And that was
what a
right
call
after,
though.
That was right after Justin got a touchdown call back because our Jordan Mason doesn't know the fucking playbook, and he covered up our tight end.
Yeah, true. Daniel's saying that with the with the Giants defense, they're 30th in allowed points, they're 30th in run defense, and they are dead last in red zone defense. So
let's talk about that with
not good.
Short yardage and red zone. It's been creative the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, because JJ McCarthy's he's mobile, right? So the defense has to respect the read option. So I think that helps open some things up.
They're really using both tight ends.
Yeah, TJ Hawkinson has come alive for the last couple of games. And I think a part of that is because they're letting him run routes, right? He's been having to chip so much this year. That's been a problem.
Yeah, but like they're using Josh Oliver. You know, he scored those 2 touchdowns against the Commanders, right?
Yeah.
We just were more creative, honestly, right? And I was like, the naked bootleg, fucking great call, honestly.
Great call. Perfect.
Great call.
And
we had a play where he was doing the read option and he gave it to the running back and we got the first down.
Yep.
Because the guy
he has to respect McCarthy.
Respected McCarthy and he let him have it and he got a first down. So that's just a much better these past 2 weeks. I know that's been a big complaint about me. Is his short yardage and in red zone, and it's been so. He threw 3 touchdowns against the Commanders, and he had another. Did he have 2 or 3 in a running, or 2 in a running? What did he do here?
Who?
2. He had 2 passing, 1 running this week, and last week the week before he had 3 passing.
Yep, correct.
And the interception was a tip ball.
Dane says the Vikings can beat the Giants. The Vikings are favored, I believe, by 2.5 against the Giants. And personally, I don't see how the Giants score on the Vikings. Like, I don't see this being a big offensive output game for the Giants.
Yeah,
we're good against the pass. We survive against the run. The Giants are not a team that can run the piss out of the ball against you. Really, you just have to contain their quarterback, and I think we're going to fluster their quarterback with the looks that we're going to show them. So I kind of like the Vikings big this weekend at the Meadowlands. I would pick them by 10.
One of the things we've been, we actually, again, we're doing good. We're doing good offensively because we're getting shorter fields. Like we're getting the ball at the 40 and stuff like that. one of the things, and then we flipped the field with Ryan Wright in that one punt. I mean, that's good timing. So the coverage was been a little off, but Miles Price he had a good week. He had a good game this game, but there's been games I've noticed that there's a flaw in him receiving the ball. He takes a step back. He catches it and he step back. I don't know if you ever play baseball and you're leading off, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't you're out, your foot that's closer to second stays in the ground. You don't pick it up and lunge with it.
Right.
You pick up your back foot, and that gets you, that's faster. Well, when he catches the ball, he takes a step back, and it's keeping him from, I think, getting more explosive plays. And I didn't really notice it this last game because I was kind of I was looking at my phone and shit and I would see the play after it was done on the kick returns. I wasn't paying much attention to it, but earlier in the year, even at the Commanders game, I was noticing that every catch was a step back, and he can't do. He'd be so much better if he catches it running forward or catching it stepping forward. And he actually did that on a where he catches well in traffic, which is good. But yeah, he got to eliminate that step back, especially in kickoffs.
Yeah, no, I agree. He's been okay. I think there's a lot of room for improvement there.
But yeah, I take him as best. He's better than what we've had.
Ryan Wright's been great this year. As our punter.
He had a competition right in preseason, and he fucking worked out, man.
And then
him gone.
And we called Will Reichard being excellent. He's been absolutely excellent.
Oh gosh,
all year he's been
best
great.
Kicker we've ever had.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Ryan Longwell was nails, but didn't have the distance. He didn't have the distance. This guy's got it all. He's got to work on the kickoffs. That's my only little thing. Is like sometimes his dirty kickoff, it gets too close to the sideline.
He kicked it out of bounds this week, didn't he?
Yeah, because he tried that dirty kickoff, and the ball just
it'll roll into the end zone, and they get the ball at the 20.
Yeah, right? It bounces in the landing zone. He's purposely trying to like put that in a specific spot, but he kicks it too close to the sideline. And if it goes out of bounds, they get it all the way
like if you avoid the returner and it rolls into the end zone and
they get it at the 20.
Get brought out, they get the ball at the 20, which is big difference. But.
Huge. Yeah, our kickoff coverage team has been ass. It's been so bad this year. That Chicago game, they gave up the kickoff return to basically lose the game, and then Dallas had so many drives starting around the 40-yard line.
Yeah, this is a bad week for coverage.
Yep.
Well, and then they had that fake field goal on us. The guy could have thrown it for a touchdown.
Dan says fire Matt Daniels, and honestly, I wouldn't be sad if we lost him. Another guy I would like to see potentially go as our offensive line coach. They've been playing better now that they're healthy, but I don't know, man. Like, I would like to see more from our offensive line. I think there's more potential there. That's just my thought.
We'll see how these next weeks go, right?
Yep. Well, what's your prediction for Giants game? I'm like I already said, I expect Vikings by 10. I don't think it should be that close.
Yeah.
Vikings are playing hard. I think the Giants have given up.
I could see a 30-10 game.
Yeah.
I think we're rolling. Oh, but it is on the road and it's cold, so I'll go 24-10.
Maybe not that. Yeah, I was gonna say maybe not 30, but see like a 21-10, something like that.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna run the piss out of the ball, and that's gonna limit possessions, so we won't have a high scoring game. But I could see our defense scoring this game.
That'd be cool. Oh, and gosh, it's all the interceptions that Smith could have had.
Yeah.
In and out a couple of times.
All right, here's my prediction: Justin Jefferson 100-yard game.
I not on my watch. I think he says Cord is saying that he would not have 1,000 yards. So it's like
I think he gets there. I think they find a way to get him.
What's he there? 170 now, something like that.
He needs like 56 yards a game.
Yeah.
for the next 3 weeks.
So I said this earlier, and you were off. And I said if y'all would have told me how good we looked offensively in these last 2 games, and Justin Jefferson would have 4 catches for 33 total yards in 2 games, I would have told you you're crazy. I would have told you were crazy.
I'm getting a call from the hospital. You gotta carry us for a little bit, okay?
All right. So what's your scores? Everybody, tell me what you think your score is, and what's the key to the game against the Giants? Or if you want to tell me how you think what the game plan will be much of the same. Well, we didn't run the ball as much this week. Let me see how many plays we did, because we got out offense. We were 100 yards less than them. So 21 first downs, they're 25. Third down efficiency, 2 of 9. That's rough. I thought it was better than that, but defensively they were 2 of 12. Fourth down efficiency, that's where I saw it. We were 3 for 3. That's why I thought the third down wasn't as bad. But we're 94 yard or 96 yards less than the Cowboys last week. Total. I'm looking for plays. Total plays. 52. 52. I also just said we were 2 for 9 on third down, but we were 3 for 3 on fourth down. So that helps out a lot.
Daniel, how do the Giants get to 21 points in your prediction? I'm just wondering. I'm just thinking, who scores for the Giants in this game? Do they run on us? Neighbors is out. He's been out for the entire year, pretty much. Yep. They're back. Tyrone Tracy's been hurt. Devin Singletary has been their main back now.
He's out.
Theo Johnson has been one of their main passing targets. He's a tight end out of Iowa. They got Wan'Dale Robinson and Darius Slayton leading their wide receiver core. It's just
that's pretty bad.
I just don't see too much there. Like Jackson Dart has a long run touchdown or something like that. It gets you on a running play. I don't know. Our defense is playing really well, and I don't think they have the horses to kind of keep up. What did we hold Dallas to? 26? Okay.
But they got a late field goal, right?
Yeah.
They kicked the field goal and with 20 seconds left. Yeah, the second half was a big difference in the way the defense played, I think.
Yeah, they gave up some long pass plays over the middle. That was really the only complaint I had with the defense.
I was like yelling on TV, why are these guys so fucking wide open?
Yeah. Well, that's what happens if you block our shit up. You're gonna have dudes down the field.
And also this bothers me a little bit too. We play when it's third down and long. We play a shell coverage, right, and try to keep them catch and tackle.
Mm-hmm.
But they're getting like 3 yards away from 3 yards from the first down. I just feel like that's not going to work against the Lions. They're going to go for it. Right?
Yeah.
Even in their own side of the field. But yeah, I wish they would tighten that up a little bit. Yeah, catch, but
cornerback for me is the biggest area of need for next year. I think we need to draft a guy pretty highly.
I think I like the 2 guys we got. Again, there's been some inconsistency though. Rodgers played well, I think.
Yeah, he played a lot more. It's like they benched him last game or something, and he played more than Jay Ward this game, I noticed. I didn't hear why or an explanation for that. But Jay Ward played a ton during the Commanders game.
And Jay Ward ended Ertz's career. But I don't think it was dirty because I think he hit him in the thigh. And he didn't hit him with his helmet. It was a shoulder hit.
Dan says he wants a corner too. The guy, if we're taking one in the first round, the guy that I want is AJ Terrell's younger brother. He plays for Clemson.
Clemson cornerbacks?
Yeah, but Follow the blood, man.
I'm
AJ
just
Terrell's an
kidding. I'm just
excellent
kidding.
corner. Follow those genes.
Yeah, pedigrees do matter, I think, in the NFL, except for Chris Carter's son. But I guess he's pretty good in Canada.
Amon-Ra St. Brown's brother. Not great.
Yeah, they were. I think all three of them played college and thing.
Well, that's kind of everything I had on the agenda tonight. Anything in the comments section you guys wanted to bring up? Anything we haven't talked about? Anything on your mind at all? We talked a lot about JJ McCarthy. We talked about the defense. We broke down the wins over the Commanders, the Cowboys, and then looked forward to the Giants a little bit. So we'll have more to talk about. We had some questions about the NFC North matchups with the Packers and the Lions, but we'll just know more after the outcomes of these games because it's really important, that the Lions do beat the Steelers and keep themselves in the race. And then that will tell us if we have a chance to knock them out of the race or how that's going to work. Yeah, we talked about George Michaels brings up about Dallas Turner next 3 weeks. He's going to have a big opportunity to show himself as a pass rusher in the Jonathan Grenard role and less dropbacks. So yeah, it'll be a big 3 weeks.
As soon as I saw him go down, I was like, sit this guy for the rest of the year, have him ready for next year. And then I want to see Dallas Turner play.
Now, keep in mind, I'm really big on telling people, remember, Dallas Turner's super young too, right? His development curve was always going to take a couple years. So I'm actually happy with this season. I think he's shown me enough flashes to be excited about his third year. This next year for him should be the coming out party. It really should be.
Yeah, I have I don't think we had crazy high expectations. The way we talked about him earlier in the year.
Yeah, I think he's going to be
preseason.
I think he's going to be 24 next year. He's still like a kid, dude, going up against grown ass men. I don't really expect him to be
22.
Oh my God. I don't expect him to have a bull rush
in February.
That's crazy.
2nd.
He's so young.
And 5.5 sacks.
Yeah.
I think at the beginning of the year, I said I'll be happy when he gets 8 sacks.
Yeah, let's see if he can rattle off a few to end the season here.
Yeah,
no, I've been fine with him. Byron Murphy, he needs to pick it up. I don't think he's been very good this year. At least they've stayed healthy, though. Our two starting corners, we have needed them to stay healthy, and they have been able to do that. But we needed another couple bodies in that room for sure.
Heck, I wouldn't be even rest Van Ginkel. Don't play him too much.
Yeah, Dalton
brings next year too.
Dalton brings up Anthony Barr. When we picked him, we all thought he was going to be this sack specialist, and he just a middle linebacker his entire career.
So I was like, this is me. And when we drafted him, like, great. We drafted a 3-4 outside linebacker and put him in a 4-3 defense. I was like, what? So pissed because at the time, because I wanted Donald. What's his name with the Rams? Donald.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? Future Hall of Famer. What's his name?
Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald. I wanted Aaron Donald so bad. And
did we have a chance at him?
Anthony. Yeah.
Fuck. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, I wanted Aaron Donald.
Yeah, that sucks.
That was his first. That was Zimmer's first draft.
We love us some Anthony Barr, but yeah, Aaron Donald.
I'm gonna look at Aaron.
That's tough.
Donald draft
class. It's looking like I'm gonna have to go back to the hospital. So, are you good to end it here, or do you want to carry on a little bit without me?
I'll end it here.
Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you for joining us. It's been great to be back and talk Vikings with you guys. It's been a couple of weeks here. JJ McCarthy is on a hot streak. Hope it continues against the Giants. And we will catch you back next week, permitting I don't have any patients trying to leave the hospital against medical advice. So good seeing everybody. Dave, great to see you again, my friend. And Skull Vikes, we'll see you next week.
Anthony Barr, 9th. Aaron Donald, 13th.
Damn.
That's how pissed I was. So pissed.
9th. That's crazy.
All right, guys, Skol. Let's beat
Skol.
the Giants.